Greetings, everybody. It's John. Have you ever visited somebody in hospice care? I had that experience this week, and it was a sobering reminder of two things. One, especially if you're in your 50s, to get long-term care before you get ill. And I'm talking about me and my wife, as much as anybody who might be kind enough to be listening. But the second thing was to be grateful for the life that you have. And it left me just literally counting my blessings. And so it was what prompted today's Millionaire Me Challenge reminder, which is to remember that real wealth is not measured in dollars, but in things money can't buy. And the task today was really simple. Just write down 5 things for which you're grateful that require no money. For me, those things are so easy to list. Well, first off, my health after that experience, but I'm grateful for that every day. We don't have a lot of good men who live past the age of 60. I'm 57. So I'm trying my level best to keep my health at the top of my priority list, but there are some things we can't control. Right? And so I'm just trying my best to eat right and exercise as often as I can. And I'm grateful for the health that I do have. But everything else that I'm grateful for, they all revolved around relationships. I can't even talk about the first person without literally tearing up. That's my wife. She has the most remarkable magnanimity, poise, wisdom. I could go on, but I don't want to be a blubbering idiot. Number 2, my kids. I mean, my oldest son called me last week and said, "Do you have a minute?" Listen, whenever I hear one of my kids' voices and they ask that, I have hours. What is it that you want to talk about? And it turned into this most edifying, encouraging, amazing conversation. I texted my wife. I can't wait to tell you about the conversation I had with my oldest son, Jackson. And that's not to mention Wesley and Caroline and McCall and Shan and their significant others. It's just an embarrassment of riches, truly. And for the time being, until McCall moved away recently, we had everybody within 50 miles. We got to see everybody all the time. Amazing, incredible. Thank you, God. My extended family. My mother-in-law and both my parents are still alive and doing great. And I interact with them quite often, not as often as I'd like because they don't live here, but there's so much pleasure and enjoyment that comes from that. Wow. My clients. My real job is not posting videos about signing up for the Millionaire Me March Forward Savings Challenge. Last week, we helped a $10 million client come up with his estate plan. We landed a new $1 million client and had to put in a lot of these important legal documents in place that had us running interference with estate planning attorneys and others. And then there were highlights on the other end where 2 young people opened and funded Roth IRAs. But my clients let me do this. They love the idea of being able to offer my experience and wisdom, even if it's wisdom around what not to do to people, because they're honorable, noble, terrific people. Who gets to do that? This guy does. And then, my friends, a special thank you to those of you who signed up and are part of the Millionaire Me March Forward Savings Challenge. It's not lost on me that you didn't have to do that, but the comments that are being shared and the interactions that are had, they've been really amazing. But whether you signed up for it or not, I'm grateful to have friends all over the country from all the different places where we've lived and been. And these are lifers. I've got some great friends. They say that a group of people in an elevator are just that, a collection of people. But a group of people who are in an elevator that's stuck, that's a team. The types of friends I have are friends who want to help one another figure it out. And for that, I'm very grateful. Money can't buy that stuff. I'm not worthy of that stuff. And yet, it's the joy of my life. I hope you'll consider writing down 4 or 5 things that you're grateful for, things that money can't buy. I hope you're healthy. I hope if you're in your 50s, you think about getting a long-term care policy. Do some estate planning. Of course, I'd love to be that person, but even if I'm not that person, I'd love to point you in the direction of someone who can help so that you and your family are covered too. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for listening.